It's all about the deal at Brunswick Auto Mart. Save big this month with deals like this. Don't miss the Make This the Summer event and lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Night Edition Crew Cab 4x4 with heated side mirrors, parking sensors, backup cam, Apple CarPlay, and lane departure warning for just $319 a month. Brunswick Auto Mart. Car buying made truly simple.
Raymond Felton State Farm is here to defend you from life's unexpected hits with coverage that fits your game plan. Get a free quote today at www.rayfelton.com or call 234-284-2996. Raymond Felton State Farm will help build the game plan that fits your needs.
Whether you're hosting a corporate event, wedding, conference, concert, or any other special gathering, our comprehensive range of services will exceed your expectations and elevate your event to new heights. RRT Productions. We shoot, we edit, you win. Visit our website at www.rrt-productions.com.
We've got the experience, the passion, and the beach to make your event a smash hit. Whether it's a romantic wedding, a lively sports venue, or a rocking high school dance, Troutland Entertainment has you covered. Contact them at 330-414-4261 or email them at troutlandent@gmail.com. That's troutlandent@gmail.com. Elevate your brand with Mako Custom Printing. Mako Custom Printing specializes in creating high-quality spiritware, corporate apparel, and promotional products that make your brand stand out. Whether you need custom printing, graphic design, or an online store for your school or business, we've got you covered. Make a statement with Mako Custom Printing. Visit us at mako.com to start your custom printing journey today. That's MEHCO.com.
And welcome, everybody, to Sports on Tap. This is an SOT Extra presented by Raymond Felton State Farm Insurance. You got to hear about him and all of our other tremendous sponsors before the show. Stick around after the show as well to get another word from our fantastic sponsors. You are watching us live on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe at Sports on Tap. Get the notifications. We are about to go live on the air. Follow us on Twitter/X at SOT Podcasts. We are on Facebook also at Sports on Tap, so make sure you like us there. We are on Threads at SOT_podcasts. We are also on Spotify as well. Our website is sportsontappodcast.com. For any questions, comments, suggestions, or concerns, send us a note to sportsontappodcast@gmail.com. My name is Ed Dick, alongside Noah Jacobson and Sean Duffy. Rob Trauman and Josh Jeffy are out on assignment tonight. All right, we got a fantastic guest tonight. Those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s or had parents that were involved with this, with indoor soccer, the Cleveland Crunch Cleveland Force/Cleveland Crunch were a pretty big deal back in the 1980s and 1990s, with superstars like Kai Hoskevy, Hector Marinero, Zoran Karic, Otto Orff, Tommy Tanner, Tim Tima, the Dusowski twins. I can go on forever because I went to camps with these guys and I saw them play soccer multiple times. But the Crunch are back. They're in their 6th season. They are 5-time league champions all around. And we are very, very happy to be joined by the Director of Sales and co-owner of the Major League Indoor Soccer's Cleveland Crunch, Ryan Ruiz, joins us tonight. Ryan, how are we doing tonight?
Doing excellent, guys. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for taking the time to come on. And we won't go into the details about our connection, maybe a little bit later. But the Cleveland Crunch are back. They've been back for 6 years, and for those of us who grew up with the Crunch, and things went away for a little bit, but around the year 2020 is when they came back. So talk about how the Crunch came back to be in kind of take us back a little bit, a few years. How did the Crunch return back then?
Yeah, so the majority owner, his name is Luciano Rashido, and him and a friend had an idea of bringing the crunch back, and they simply posted some sort of thing on social media, just trying to get a survey, and they got interest in it, and then that idea started going, and then they started looking into copyrights and trademarks, and all of a sudden, then they made a phone call to MASL2, and then all of a sudden, the Crunch were being reborn. So yeah, they came back in 2020, the year of COVID of all things, and they put together a great squad. And what was really cool about it was a lot of those players were from Northeast Ohio in the surrounding area. They put together a great squad, and they went all the way to the championship and won it in Wichita against the Wichita Wings.
Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. And it's a great privilege for all of us at Sports Untapped to be talking to you and the Cleveland Crunch. Like you mentioned, it's a great history with the Crunch, with 5 league titles going back to, Otto Orff and Hector Marinero when they won the 94 Cup, when it was a battle against St. Louis when they won it all. But kind of talk about what is the one thing that people really want to know about the Cleveland Crunch, whether it's the team, the fans, or the save, but just kind of talk about what is the one thing that people want to know about the Cleveland Crunch.
Man, the one thing that they want to know about the Cleveland Crunch. So, and there's so many things that I want them to know, but the one thing is that
list them all off. We got time.
Well, okay.
List them all off.
All right, yeah. Well, the one thing to answer Noah's question, the one thing is we are a very intimate team with our fans. We really want that fan interaction with our team, not like a lot of other professional teams in the city. And we really engage that, and we really make it so you're a part of the team. Like, I was brainstorming the other day, I was like, man, we really need to come up with a slogan. You look at the Cavs, you see let them know, and you look at the Monsters, you see fear of the depths, and you look at the Captains and you see seize the day. And I was just thinking, what if we did we play for you, and I feel like that's what it is. It's for the love of the game, for the love of the fans, and this is the greatest sports city in all of the world, in my opinion. I mean, I'm a Cleveland avid sports fan, and that's the one thing that I would want you guys to know, or that I'd want everyone to know, is that we care about our fan base, we care about each other, and we truly are a team. The other things is just the fun things. Like, in the city of Cleveland, we don't have a whole lot of winning. I mean, we don't have a whole, especially from some of the most beloved teams. And, there was even news today that happened. So, yeah, we win. We win, and we do it with pride, and we do it as a team. And in the 6 seasons that we've been bad, this is our 6th season. So in the 5 seasons that we've played, in the regular season, we've lost 2 home games. So that's 28-2 record at home in those 5 seasons. So it's awesome to have a winning atmosphere, and winning as an expectation too, because that's not something that every Clevelander, we all know, is used to, mm-hmm. or any Northeast Ohio fan.
Yeah, and Ryan, that's a great point, is that, everybody wants a winner, no matter what it is. You want to have that sense of hometown pride. And, I didn't grow up here. I'm a transplant from a small town in Dayton. So we didn't really have a lot of indoor soccer. If we did, I wasn't aware of it, simply because I didn't know professional indoor soccer existed until Ed educated me so well. So for people like me who don't really know a lot about this particular sport, or maybe have a idea of the sport itself, can you kind of give us a 30,000-foot view of maybe the differences between, say, your MLS or your what they see on TV versus what they're going to see when they show up to watch the Crunch, dominate the opponent?
Absolutely, Sean. So indoor soccer is a totally different animal than outdoor soccer. And I love outdoor soccer. I've played all my life. And outdoor soccer, you could watch a whole game and it would be 1-0 and not a whole lot going on, right? Well, indoor soccer is like ice hockey because it's played inside of a field like ice hockey without the ice, with boards all the way around the field. The goals are smaller, and the action-packed, nonstop movement is it's nonstop. And just like hockey, players substitute on the fly. Whereas if you watch an outdoor game, you don't get to substitute until that striker's ready to come out, and they're going to sub them in the 80th minute. Indoor soccer is also played by quarters, like basketball. Okay. Hockey's 3 periods, but it's played by quarters, so 4 quarters. And if you come to a Crunch game, we averaged 14 goals a game last season. So you're going to see a lot of goals and you're going to see a lot of action. And just like hockey with these boards, these players slam into each other, and it is nonstop. And I think I read somewhere the average indoor soccer player runs 8 miles a game. So it's just nonstop action, back and forth. Field is cut smaller, so you have to really have a strategy when it comes. And it's not, and yeah, you have, like, we play a 2-2-1 where we have 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, 1 up top as an attacker, and then you have your goalie. However, you're all over the field. It doesn't matter what position you play. Our captain, Dave Jordan, he scores goals, and he's one of the best defenders in the league. Same with one of our up and coming stars, Omar Najjar, defenseman, and he puts up phenomenal goal and assist numbers every game. So he, that's what you get with indoor soccer. Is there's constant movement, and the other thing is geometry and angles. If you come to a Crunch game, you will see certain plays that we run where they are strictly the placement of the ball off the corner of the boards. So, and that could be, a midfielder hitting the boards on the right or left side to get a rebound in the middle where an attacker is waiting to put it in. So there's so many differences between outdoor and indoor, and you're going to see goals, you're going to see high flying action, and it's just a different animal is the best way I can explain it. Also with comparing it to hockey without the ice.
And similar to that of hockey, there's power plays.
Yes, thank you, Ed. Yeah.
And
wait, just power plays now?
Yeah, you have 2-minute power plays. So indoor soccer uses the same card system that outdoor soccer uses, but when you get a blue card in indoor soccer, that's 2 minutes in the box. So now you're a man down. And then another fun fact, which we never have to run into because most of the time we're always playing ahead, is that you can pull your goalie and use a 6th attacker in indoor soccer. So that's kind of fun too.
And when you have a power play similar to that of hockey, possession is key. You're working the ball. You're working the ball around the point. You're working around the perimeter, trying to find those angles. The crunch, the game that I saw in Lansing, well, Novi, but in Lansing, I don't think you guys scored in the power play. I think each time, and it was with extreme efficiency. To your point about how accurate, how efficient, how pinpoint those passes are going to. Sometimes it goes to a spot, and they know the player's going to run up on that spot.
Yep. In a power play, that has definitely been a huge focus so far this year, because our numbers from a power play standpoint, both offensively and defensively, were not acceptable last year, and we're 100% right now, whereas we were killing 30% of our power plays last year and only scoring on 60%, 58%, somewhere around there. So you need to take advantage of when a team is a man down and you have 2 minutes at the advantage. You have to take advantage, especially in indoor soccer, because unlike outdoor, where you go down 2 goals, it's not that easy to come back from 2 goals. You need a lot of time. There's more field. In indoor, you could be up 2 goals and those can disappear real quick. So, that's a huge reason that you want to score a lot of goals in indoor soccer, is because you want to, especially the crunch. We play 1 quarter at a time, 1 game at a time, and we always want to play from in front.
Let's talk about there's another intricacy with indoor soccer that there isn't with hockey, is the 6 foul rule. You want to go into the 6 foul rule?
Yeah. So that's an awesome point. So the MLIS, Major League Indoor Soccer, we took a vote as owners 2 seasons ago, and we said, we want to be different than other leagues. We want to add some excitement to the game, and we voted on the 6 foul rule. So MLIS is the only indoor league that does it, and when you get a 6th foul, that's the old MLS shootout rules, where you will start from the yellow, the whistle will blow, everyone else has to start from the midfield, the whistle will blow, and you go 1-on-1 with the goalie and dribble up and score. So that's also been, I think that's been very successful. I mean, we've had a chance to vote it out, and each year we want to keep it in. We like the excitement. It also, for better or for worse, I don't want to talk about it, but the finals last year, I mean, that's something that came back to bite us last year.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and having been at that game, we will also not discuss that. But so one team is a little bit more successful at those opportunities than the other. And for clarity, is it 6 fouls a quarter or 6 fouls a half?
6 fouls a half.
Okay, 6 fouls per half. So if you're at 5, and so strategy changes too, right? If you're at 5 fouls, you might think twice about being a little bit more aggressive on defense, because you don't want to get a cheap foul that results in a goal or a goal scoring, a very good scoring opportunity for the other team.
Correct. And you also don't want to get 6 foul, give that team a shootout, then redo it and get 6 more in that same half, because it resets.
Wow. So there's a lot of, it sounds to me like there's a lot of opportunity, like you said, there's just a lot of opportunity for scoring, but also a lot of almost like a strategy, like a more sophisticated strategy element than, say, your typical soccer game, or even your typical, I mean, this sounds to me like it's more of a basketball. You want to, when you get towards the end, where, when you get towards it's a strategy towards the end, because you have maybe a foul to give or whatever it is, in that sense that you can maybe again, allow that to happen, and it can change the course of the game, so to speak, in that half or towards the end of the game.
Sean, that's an awesome point, because when you compare it to basketball, which I've never really thought about, yeah, without a shot clock, possession is key, just like Ed said.
Right.
And if you and we are very good at possessing the ball and very good with ball skills and handling, and we know where we're supposed to be on the field. So I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, we really struggled in the finals to possess the ball at the end when we needed to, because they played keep away from us.
Right.
So again, to your analogy, basketball and possession just without a shot clock. So imagine just a no shot clock, just possess the ball, play keep away. And teams will do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a strategy, not I wouldn't say the most exciting strategy, and also probably, in my opinion, not the greatest strategy as a ethical coaching person, but effective strategy nonetheless, if you can do it. But yeah, I mean, this sounds to me like it's really like an interesting game to go watch. And, you know, I definitely would want to also ask, just because I'm a business guy, from the business standpoint of it, can you talk a little bit about, you know, the rebranding of the Crunch, or the revival of the Crunch, and a little bit of how that process went? And did you guys always come into this, your ownership team always come in to say, we got to go back to the Crunch? Or was this something you guys were like, you know, I remember the Crunch, and we, or did you batter on other names or rebranding this, or did you want to always come back and just kind of rekindle that magic that you had in the 80s and 90s?
No, it was always about the love of the Crunch from all of us that went to the youth summer camps and went to the Richfield Coliseum and went to the CSU Convocation Center and got to know players like Hector Marinero and Otto Orff and Zoran Karic and Kai Hoskevy, and going further back, Timo Liakowski, like all of these memories we wanted to hold on to. And I like to tell people, like, we honor the past, but we also want to create our own legacy and our own brand. So the Crunch came back in 2020, and it was an idea basically put on social media as a survey to see, hey, how many people would vote? Like, would that be interested? Would that be something that people would be interested? And it got a lot of positive vibes off of it. So Luciano Rashido and his friend at the time, they took this idea and said, let's just look into it. Let's get a trademark lawyer, and let's start looking into what do we have to do to get the name, and what do we have to, and believe it or not, the name was available. The Cleveland Crunch were available, and the trademark, and then it was just a matter of, okay, how can we brand that? And then it was, okay, what league do we want to play in, or how do we even get into a league? So they went through all of that, and they ended up in the Major Arena Soccer League 2, which is the second division under MASL. And a lot of those teams in the MASL were teams that the Crunch played in the past. Baltimore Blast, the Dallas Sidekicks, the Tacoma Stars, teams like that. San Diego Sockers, I can't stand them. So that's how it happened. And then they put this team together. They scout talent all across Northeast Ohio and other states, and they put this team together, and other countries, and they put this team together. And during a tough COVID year where not everybody knew what was going on, the Crunch ended up I think they finished 8-3, and they ended up going to Wichita and winning a championship in their first year. And that's where it all just really kicked off. It was that I was a fan during that season, and I had my daughter who loves soccer. I just was trying to relive the memories of my dad taking me to games, and I took my daughter to these games, and we fell in love with the team. She fell in love with the team, and I got to talking to the owners. And then it was the second year where I really started getting involved and said, okay, what can we do to take this to the next level? And what can we do to take it to the next level again and again? And one thing I'm a big believer in is no stagnancy. You always have to keep it going. You always have to one-up yourself. What can we do better? I mean, that's something I ask myself every day. How can I be better? How can I be better? How can I make these fans happier? How can I make our team happier? And, by God, we've accomplished that here in year 6.
Ryan, I really want to touch up on that because a lot of the success that you guys had going back to the 90s when you won those championships was really at the Wolstein Center. And now this Saturday, you guys are heading back to have 6 games and that, but Saturday would be a real true testament to your team returning to the Wolstein Center. Just kind of 2 questions on that. Number 1, what it'll be like to return to the Wolstein Center on Saturday? Then number 2, talk about some of the big promotions for each of those 6 games that you have for really to give the fans to really promote like what the Cleveland Crunch is all about. Just kind of talk about how those 2 questions are really about, what's it like to return to the Wolstein Center and kind of the big promotions to the fans.
Sure, Noah. So I'll start with the first one. So officially being back at the Wolstein Center as our home, it feels great. I mean, these players deserve it. Our organization deserves it. These fans deserve it. I mean, we were selling out the Sportsplex for the last 5 seasons, and where it was standing room only, and we couldn't accept any more fans.
True.
And now to have a bigger venue and more comfortable seating for our fans, like that's so huge. Now, the variable to that question is returning to the Wolstein Center. We returned to it in the playoffs last year, and we didn't get the happy ending that we wanted. And, the past is the past. So that memory of returning last year, I think that's going to be 10 times more, because the one thing that people need to understand about the playoffs is that was a Major League Indoor Soccer event. That was not a Cleveland Crunch event. We could not do any of our promotions. We could not do any of the fanfare that we wanted to do. We even came out Euro style as far as introductions. I am a huge proponent of presentation. It's all about the presentation with the Cleveland Crunch. We call it's a party, not a game. And I want to involve the fans as much as I can. I want to get them pumped up. I want to bring kids on the field, and I want them to make the high five tunnels. So that's something that you're going to get to see on Saturday, which you couldn't see in the finals. So to answer your question, being back as our official home for the season, that means so much to me, which was once the Convocation Center, is now the Wolstein Center. It means so much to our organization, the players, the fans, and anybody who loves the Crunch can appreciate that. As far as the promotions this year, we're going to be announcing more, but I'm kind of really excited about this Saturday's promotion. It was something we were toying with, and we had signed a sponsor here in the last 3 months, and they're First Class Marketing, awesome marketing agency. And we had not to get too much into the finals, but we had a bad taste in our mouth about the finals. Mm-hmm. And just leaving it as there was a lot of questionable calls and questionable non-calls and a lot of calls that just didn't seem right. We toyed with the idea of what if we just did a cool giveaway of a blue card. And we are doing, so First Class Marketing is the first 2,500 fans will receive a Cleveland Crunch schedule blue card. And the idea behind that was you could bring that to every game. You could bring that to every game, and you see a foul and you hold you see a dirty foul and you hold up a blue card. So that was an interactive promotion that we were excited about. We're big into theme nights. So theme nights are going to be like Educators Night and First Responders Night and Military Night and things like that. We are very, very big into, United States of America pride and having an honor guard and making sure that the national anthem is done right and bringing in people that represent our brand great. So Hayden Grove was on The Voice, and he's going to be singing the national anthem for a fan appreciation weekend, which is the 14th and the 15th. He'll be singing the 14th, so we're excited about that. Just all kinds of small giveaways. We're going to have an international night, and all of those theme nights will tie into whatever we're giving away. Working on something big with Greenie Sports Cards right now that I want to do a Cleveland Crunch trading card night where we give away trading cards. So lots of fun, lots of new, again, staying away from just being complacent, doing the same thing over and over and putting on the same show, trying to do something different, bringing back a special guest this weekend that I think fans are going to be super excited about. Very special guest appearance coming. So lots of cool promotions, Noah.
We're talking sorry, go ahead, Sean. We're talking with co-owner and director of sales of the Cleveland Crunch, Ryan Ruiz. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, you mentioned this before, and I want to kind of follow up on it. You mentioned the always, striving for that next level, always not staying stagnant. Now, when you and your partner sat down and kind of mapped out this last 6 years as much as you could, looked into your crystal ball, was kind of a postmark on the success of this venture, getting to a place like the Wolstein Center where you can call home and using that as kind of your home base to build off of, to now really kind of bring the city in, as opposed to, the Sportsplex and everything like that, which was, again, did what it did, but you grew, obviously organically outgrew that. And now you're at this, milestone. Is there a, hey, what's phase 3 or phase 607 that you guys are looking to do? Is it to get a big name sponsor or to become one of the majors, the core four in Cleveland? I mean, I'm just kind of asking because I'm actually, this is actually really cool to me because this is the stuff that I like. This is how you build something organically from an idea to really what you guys have now is a successful operation, and you guys are, growing it in a really sustainable way in a sense, because indoor soccer is actually pretty big in this area. I mean, I didn't realize it until I've talked to people who are like, yeah, we play soccer. Now we have indoor season. I'm like, what's indoor season? And, it's indoor soccer, but I'm like, why isn't, and you guys are, hitting a vein here that may, become the next monsters, because this is, for better or worse, the weather sucks here from like December, from like November till like March. And people are going to get cabin fever. I got cabin fever just being home for the holidays. And, give me something to go out and cheer for.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those are great questions. So, to answer it, for the last 5 years that I've been with the team, it's been on my mind it goes through my mind every day. How can we get out? As we all appreciate the Sportsplex. We made the most out of it. What you said, we capped out and we did the absolute best we could, keeping that same theme and keeping that it's a party, not a game attitude. But yes, the end goal was absolutely to get to the Wolstein. And you talk about phases, 3 seasons ago, we put together a deal with the IX Center. And we had our first 2 home games of that season at the IX Center. And we won't go into all the reasons why, which I still haven't been able to figure out. But the IX Center said, we're going to pull the plug after these first 2 games, even though we didn't do anything wrong. So that was a success. I don't know if you guys saw any of that footage or if Ed, you were at the game, but the IX Center, we anticipated 2,500 to 3,000 people, and we sold out both Saturday and Sunday games. And they were back to back at the IX Center. So that was another phase. And then when they pulled the plug from that, it was back to the Sportsplex and it was back to the drawing board and what can we do? And you name it, Sean, I thought of it. I was looking into warehouses. What can I buy? What can I make shift into our own arena? Is there any arenas that we could go to? Is there is there any financial backing that I could get to do something? And everything just kind of fell through. Then it was like, okay, let's look at Public Hall. Let's look at the Wolstein Center. And the thing about the Wolstein Center is they play men's basketball there and they play women's basketball there. And they also had the Cleveland Charge. So once the Charge left and went to Public Hall, that opened an avenue for the Cleveland Crunch. And people think that, you guys are at the Wolstein Center now. This was 3 years of talking to the Wolstein Center.
Right.
I mean, I was in Zoom meetings, in-person meetings with numerous hours with the Wolstein Center, all of our team trying to put this together. And then when we were able to put the finals together, when we were awarded the playoffs for the MLIS and said, Cleveland, you're going to be the city, then it was go time and we got the Wolstein Center to do that. And then the whole thought process behind that was, okay, let's fill this place up as best we can. Let's show Northeast Ohio that indoor soccer can survive here. And let's see if we can make this a success, whether we win or not. Let's see if we can put butts in the seats and put on a show. And let's see if we can make this our home for the 25-26 season. And that is exactly what we did this season.
And I guess we got the big home opener this Saturday, correct? Is it 6 p.m.?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay. And who are you guys? Who's the unlucky team that has to face you guys at the home opening at the Wolstein?
I mean, they may not be unlucky. They're the Chicago Mustangs. They're a team that's been around for a long time. Chicago Mustangs has a very nice venue in the Chicago area, and they put together a good squad every year. They're young, they're fast, and we just need to be ready. And I know Coach Manfoot will have our team ready to go.
The Crunch has, speaking of we talked a lot about you. Goodness, we talked a lot about what's going on behind the scenes, and kind of how we got to this point. Let's talk about the players. You return the MVP from last year, top goal scorer, top assist man, top playmaker, Admir Sudovic. The backflips of McCain Spragling, which was the first time I seen that. I was like, this is fantastic. Kind of speaking of that party atmosphere you guys put on. I know it's tough to name all the players, and we don't want to. I certainly don't want to leave anybody out. But you mentioned your captain, Dave Jordan, earlier. Who are some of the other returning players? Maybe that have been with you guys the whole way through, or some of the veterans, if you will.
Sure, got to start from the back. Mario Musa is one of the, if not the best goalkeeper in the MLIS, and I would put my money up on Musa for other leagues as well. So our goalkeeper, this is his 6th season. Boban Chanchar, I mean, this guy is an awesome defender that's been with the team for 6 years. You mentioned McCain Spragling. Sammy Mutemwa is one of those fast midfielders that can. There's a highlight from the semifinals game where he looked like he was going 100 miles per hour down the field and scored a goal. You have Dave Jordan. It's funny because you look at the old Crunch and you find parallels, and you find examples of how this team creates its own legacy versus what the Crunch used to be. Well, the Crunch had the greatest indoor soccer player of all time in Hector Marinero, and Hector was teamed up with Zoran Karic, and back in that day, they called themselves the Dynamic Duo. The fans called them the Dynamic Duo. Well, we have our own Dynamic Duo, and it is Admir Sulovic and Mikey Derzic. They are our Dynamic Duo, and they always create excitement. They're always playing off each other. They've known each other for a very, very long time, just like Hector and Zoran did. And when Zoran was traded from the Soccers to the Crunch. So they're very good friends. They know each other like the back of their hand. They know where they're going to be on the field. The chemistry between them is very, very, very similar to Hector and Zoran, the way they played. So many other players, but you know, the one thing I love about our squad and our organization is that we recruit. We always want to bring in new blood. We always want to test the veterans. We always want to see how can our team get better. Again, stagnancy. You're going to see players come and go, but we bring in new blood, and part of that new blood over the last couple seasons has been Omar Najjar. I mean, this is one of the best defenders in the league. One of the best overall, all-around players in the league from a skill standpoint. Really excited about Janis Schmidt. Janis Schmidt is coming back for his second season. Great outdoor player. So I could go on and on. I don't want to single everybody, but I love our whole squad. Our team loves each other, and we play for each other. And if you talk to a guy like Gabriel Piwu, who has just made stride after stride and was an all-league player last year, he doesn't care about stats. He hasn't even watched the finals because he was heartbroken, just like a lot of us. And he had a hat trick, and he had a great game, and he does not care. It was all about the W and bringing a trophy to the land in front of the land. And unfortunately, we didn't get it done, but we don't have that. I feel like this year we can play free and don't have that target on our backs like we had last year, where they're all gunning for us because we're MLIS champions. And I feel like the team is very looser because of it, and they can just play free and just go out there and be the Crunch and play Crunch soccer.
Ryan, I want to really dig into really the old alumni. Like you mentioned, Hector Marinello, Zoran, Otto Orff. Those were really the guys back in the '90s that really created the brand of the Crunch. Just kind of cool. Two questions to this. Number one, have you guys been in talks about doing an active association with the Crunch alumni? And then number two, has there been any talks about maybe of the Crunch like alumni, like some of the old players from like the '90s? Maybe returning to any of these games coming up this week or any of the 5 games?
No, it's a great question, Noah. I that was something that was very, very important to me when I joined the organization. I said we need to honor the past. We need to honor these players that came before and the previous Crunch ownership that folded in 2001. They didn't retire any numbers. They didn't do anything. So one idea I had, I'll give you guys a little behind the scenes, was I've known Hector for a long time, and I got to know Zoran. And one idea I had was I said, for the IX Center, let's retire Hector and Zoran that year. And let's retire those numbers and let's make a big deal about it. And I couldn't get Hector here on opening night, but I got Zoran here, and we retired Zoran's number on opening night at the IX Center. And then the plan was, as long as we had our 4 other home games at the IX Center, was to retire Hector at the end of the season on Fan Appreciation Night. And because of it, we couldn't, because of them pulling the plug, we couldn't, and Hector did not want to do it at the Sportsplex. So I am trying to again blend that past, bring that past, talking to the alumni. Obviously, we have had talks with Otto. There's a lot of fluid talks with everybody. Tim Tima is at every one of our games. Tim Tima is an awesome, one of the most bulldog defenders I've ever seen play indoor soccer. And
he was a dude.
he was a dude, and he still is a dude. And full circle moment for me. I'm at the finals last year. I'm at the playoffs, and it's Sunday. It's the day of the championship, and I'm just kind of taking it all in on the field before. This is a few hours before the game, and I see a guy walking in a green referee shirt, and it's Tim Tima, and I'm like, hey Tim, and I've seen him for the past few seasons, but it was just so great to see him on the field that he once was on, because he was on the field with me, and we took some pictures and we talked. And so absolutely, yeah, the Crunch Alumni Organization. I mean, here's another story too, guys. 3 seasons ago, before we had Antonio Manfoot, who was the coach of the year last year, or 2 seasons ago, and he has coached this team tremendously in his 3 seasons, and he's back again for this season. But before Antonio Manfoot, I was part of the hiring of Benny Dargle. And Benny Dargle was a former Force and Crunch player, and I brought Benny Dargle aboard. And so there has been a lot of the old Crunch and Force players, involved with the new generation Crunch. Tim Sarabitis is another one. Mm-hmm. And 2 seasons ago, we had his son playing on the team, Bobby Sarabitis. So, it's kind of cool that you saw a father that played for the old Crunch, and then a son that played for the new Crunch.
You can't understate the importance of the alumni and the players that came before, as you mentioned here. I think I have a picture from a Crunch camp that was played at Hopkins Park. That was at Hopkins Park from the '90s. I was in a picture, I think, with Jamie Swanner, and maybe Hector was in that one too, or Zoran, one of the two. I went to pull it out before this came on. But like you guys also run youth camps. in the summertime. I saw that on social media. You guys are your social media, which is exactly up your alley here. You guys are always promoting who you're doing business with, who are sponsors, who your partners are. So that's a big part of about what you do. So another big part of it is if you guys, if for whatever reason you can't come to the game, which I will certainly be there this Saturday at the Wolstein Center. But if one reason or another that doesn't happen, where else can you watch the Crunch?
Yeah, the awesome question. So that was something we were super excited about, something that we've worked on all year long, and we signed a deal with Rock Sports Entertainment. Rock Sports Entertainment will be having our games, so all those Spectrum customers are able to watch the game live on Rock Sports Entertainment. Signed a TV deal with WKYC Plus. Our games will be streamed on WKYC Plus. And then the Major League Indoor Soccer YouTube channel has all of the games. It has every game. And that's one of the beauties of our league is that they don't charge you to watch a game. You go on the YouTube channel, you pick what game you want to watch, and you can watch it. And that's all from our stream from LPV Productions. And that's with Kevin Arnold, and Munch Bishop will be the commentators on Saturday. With Gianluca Di Giacomo on the sideline reporting. So there are plenty of ways to watch the Crunch if you're not going to the game. Also, a big thing for me a couple seasons ago, I think this is our third season with WOBL radio, and WOBL radio is out of Lorain County, so all Lorain County listeners can actually tune in on to 107.7 FM or 1320 AM and actually listen. But let's say there's fans of the Crunch that I know of in Florida, and they can't watch the game. They can go on WOBLradio.com and they can listen to the game. And all we do is we take the live stream feed audio and put it on the radio. So plenty of ways to watch and listen and enjoy Cleveland Crunch soccer.
Yeah, I watched I watched a little bit of the Fort Wayne game when I was when my son was playing at the McDonald's Play Place, and this is a perfect opportunity to watch some Crunch. And it didn't take too long to establish dominance in that game. But it was it's the accessibility of being able to watch and listen to not just the Crunch but all the MLIS teams is huge. The fact that it's easier to watch MLIS and watch the Crunch than it is to watch the Guardians, which is insane because they're a major league team. But that's a whole other story.
Sure.
If I were to want to, I've already done this, but if I were to want to go get tickets, where would I want to go to get those?
Yeah, so you would go to theclevelandcrunch.com/tickets. That'll take you to the Wolstein Ticketmaster site, and then you can pick which games you want. Season tickets are actually still on sale because, the first home game is this Saturday. But yeah, you could easily go on our website and get tickets that way.
And another pro tip, which I failed to follow, even though I did this, because I didn't think about it at the time. You guys are always having. You guys also offer promo codes for following you guys on social media. So make sure you're following the Crunch wherever you can on social media, Facebook, X, what have you. Those opportunities are always available. You get 15-20% off of tickets as well, right?
Yeah. Keep an eye out for codes. We're always doing something on social media, on all of our social media channels to promote tickets and to help get discounts off. I know for a fact that we have a lot of groups coming on Saturday, so there are group ticketing opportunities that definitely discount you at a lower rate. And you know what? We live in an age now with all tickets, whether it's music or sports, where you go on whatever platform, Ticketmaster or any of the other ones, and you have to pay all these fees. And it just, and despite, even though you have to pay ticketing fee or whatever, et cetera, fee they call it, Cleveland Crunch Soccer is affordable. It's not, I mean, you could take your family to a Crunch game for less than $100. And I feel like that's where the value is. That's where our sweet spot is. And we also see a lot of action. It seems like in the 6 years we've been back, it seems like there's a 48 to 72 hour window before game day. And that's where people really, so we are anticipating over 3,000 right now. I mean, we're projected over that. I think that could even be more with walk-ups. My goal, obviously, I'd love to sell out the Wolstein. It's 13,800 tickets. Is that realistic? I need to be realistic. No, but could I sell out the lower bowl, 5,000 seats? Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's doable, and I think platforms like you guys and other platforms that we get on, and we were just on with New Day Cleveland today, and News Channel 5 is coming to our training session tomorrow. So we appreciate everything you guys do, and I think, if you wanted media passes for games, I will get you those, and you guys could come as media members. I don't see a problem with that.
I just think, Doctor, that sounds like a good thing for Dr. Hoops. Right there, Noah Jacobson. Live from the boards, just giving videos, talking to people. I love it. I love that idea.
Yeah, great content.
That's right. All right, well, Ryan, we can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us tonight. Thanks for all the information. Thanks for talking to us about the Crunch, your involvement with the Crunch, and doing what you can to bring something that had a huge passionate fan base back in the 80s and 90s. Again, to your point, they were good, which made it a little bit easier. But you guys are fantastic. You guys are extremely good. 2 championships since you've been back. Been in multiple finals since then as well. It's a really great thing. Anyone who's watching this, pack the Wolstein Center. Join me and my son there, and bring your friends. When the opportunity came in testimonial, when the opportunity came that the Wolstein Center was hosting the finals last year, and I was keeping an eye on things. Once the Crunch made the finals after you guys destroyed POW, it was, I tested my buddies. I'm like, who wants to go see the Crunch game? They're playing in the championship game. They're really, really good. And a few of my buddies who follow soccer and they have younger kids. I mean, there's probably, there's between all of us, there's probably 8 up to 10 of us, I think, that were there that wouldn't normally have been there unless I probably sent them a note about it. So it's a great, it's fantastic action. It's affordable. It's easy to get to, and create new memories with the Crunch. That's what that's what they're all about, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing with my son, and we want to bring as many people along for the ride as we can.
Yeah,
so, please.
I'm sorry we couldn't raise that trophy in front of you and your friends, but we're on a mission this year, and we're laser focused, and we've proven that over the first 2 games, and now the test comes on the home opener. But one more thing, the thing that you said in the beginning, and I'll just share this with you guys. I think I'm 44, and it means a lot to me when older fans at the Crunch games come up to me and they simply say your message that you just said is thank you for bringing them back, and thank you for having this, and this is so exciting, and I can't tell you how much it means to me, and I have so many memories. It's like every time I get those moments at games, it really just hits home with me because, I care so deeply about this team and this organization and our fans and our sponsors. And I think that's what makes us different than some of the other teams in the city.
And as Ryan mentioned earlier, the MLIS playoffs will be in Las Vegas this year. The top 2 teams in each conference will make the trip out there. The competition's tough in the north. And the team up north of all teams is an extremely solid team, a very worthy opponent. One of the few teams to deal the Crunch a loss last year, even though the Crunch got 2 back at them. That'll be a really good battle when Toronto comes to Cleveland and Cleveland returns the favor up in Canada. And they'll play the winners of the South Division, the South Conference, when they go back out to Vegas.
Did you watch that trilogy last year?
No, I unfortunately I missed. I wasn't able to see any of those games. I saw the scores of them. I'm like, man, that was some intense soccer. I mean, I wish I was able to get to that game in one of those games in Cleveland, and almost instead of some of the games I went to because they were blowouts.
Every game went to overtime or a shootout in that trilogy. Yep. Yeah, Canadian Crusaders are a great team with a lot of outdoor professional players on their team.
That's insane. But I've been thinking about this for about 10 minutes. And because I'm a guy that likes to, this is what I do. Have you guys thought of a name for your fans? Something to get apart, like to be the group? Because I've been toying with this since you've been saying it. Because I'm not a fan. I don't know anything about the Crunch. But if you guys aren't using Crunch Bunch at every opportunity to describe your fans, I think that's a missed opportunity right there. Crunch Bunch. Be a part of the Crunch Bunch and watch the Crunch. I think that's. I mean, we're printing T-shirts. We're printing T-shirts.
I like it. Copyright that. Trademark.
No, that's free. That's from me to you. Merry 2026.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's definitely something to think about. I know in the past we've thrown out Crunch bars to the fans, but I've never thought about Crunch Bunch.
See,
a lot of the players, especially at the finals, they had fan sections and they named themselves, and so yeah, but that's definitely, I like that.
Well, we gotta get this gives many fans out there, so we can have a collective fan group,
Crunch Bunch,
and
a bunch of crunches. Ooh, I like that too.
Sean's an idea man. Sean's an idea man, if nothing else.
or I want a candy bar. It's 50-50 either way, or I want a candy bar, and I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out.
Very good. All right, well, we'll wrap up the show here. We want to thank you for watching us tonight at SOT Extra, presented by Raymond Felton State Farm Insurance. Stick around for a word from them and all of our sponsors. For Noah Jacobson, Sean Duffy, Rob Troutman, Josh Jeffrey, we want to thank Ryan Ruiz from the Cleveland Crunch joining us tonight. And get out to the Wolstein Center this Saturday night for their game against the Chicago Mustangs. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. at the Wolstein Center. Check out their website, theclevelandcrunch.com, for more information about tickets, promotions, schedule. Anything you need to know is at theclevelandcrunch.com. My name is Ed Dick. This has been Sports on Tap Extra, and we'll see you on the other side.
It's all about the deal at Brunswick Auto Mart. Save big this month with deals like this. Don't miss the Make This the Summer event and lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Night Edition Crew Cab 4x4 with heated side mirrors, parking sensors, backup cam, Apple CarPlay, and lane departure warning for just $319 a month. Brunswick Auto Mart. Car buying made truly simple.
Raymond Felton State Farm is here to defend you from life's unexpected hits with coverage that fits your game plan. Get a free quote today at www.rayfelton.com or call 234-284-2996. Raymond Felton State Farm will help build the game plan that fits your needs.
Whether you're hosting a corporate event, wedding, conference, concert, or any other special gathering, our comprehensive range of services will exceed your expectations and elevate your event to new heights. RRT Productions. We shoot, we edit, you win. Visit our website at www.rrt-productions.com.
We've got the experience, the passion, and the beach to make your event a smash hit. Whether it's a romantic wedding, a lively sports venue, or a rocking high school dance, Troutland Entertainment has you covered. Contact them at 330-414-4261 or email them at troutlandent@gmail.com. That's troutlandent@gmail.com. Elevate your brand with Mako Custom Printing. Mako Custom Printing specializes in creating high-quality spiritware, corporate apparel, and promotional products that make your brand stand out. Whether you need custom printing, graphic design, or an online store for your school or business, we've got you covered. Make a statement with Mako Custom Printing. Visit us at mako.com to start your custom printing journey today. That's MEHCO.com.